in Portland and one's in Spokane. Two bros in two towns, catching up when we can. News, life, and culture, reminiscing days past. Like, subscribe, and share the Real for Life podcast. Real for Life.
That was way too loud. See, now you screwed me up. Apparently we are recording. Hold on. Yeah, it's recording. Good evening and welcome to the Real for Life podcast with Jesse and Joe, coming at you with a little echo in my voice here. Coming at you on a pretty historic day, Joe. We got a new president.
There's a bunch of subjects I want to touch base on, but I feel like this is just going to take up the entire fucking podcast.
I mean, there's honestly, there's not a lot to say. I mean, did you watch any of the inauguration?
No, I work.
Yeah. The only thing that I do work too, Nick. I'm in between jobs. No, I'm working. Anyway, yeah, the only thing I picked up that was really different was every time there's an election, both sides basically talk shit the whole time to the other side.
Right.
And as soon as they get elected, they go to their inauguration, and every single time, every one of them's like, I know there was a lot of contentiousness, but now is the time for unity, for us to come together, to give the other side a chance and to work across the aisle, right? Every time. Trump was having none of that bullshit today. He went up there and he was like, he said that 2020 was bogus. He said that in a later speech, but in his like official inauguration speech, he was just like, oh, you know, it's been a dark 4 years. It ends now. We're tons of executive orders coming. Remain in Mexico. Deporting a bunch of people. In his inauguration speech, he announced that we will no longer have like something like sexual confusion or something. There are two genders, boy and girl. He's signing an executive order about gender.
Jesus.
We're gonna drill, baby, drill. And we're gonna reclaim things that are rightfully American. He talked about like Panama, how they've been ripping us off, and China's running the Panama Canal, all this stuff. So he's taking it back. Right. Which will be a lot easier since we just got new land. I don't know if you know this, but we will also make an executive order officially renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't even think that's a thing you can do. It's not an official, it's not even owned. You can't own the beach. I can own the beach. You can't own the water.
You think Cuba calls the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of Mexico?
Probably not.
Probably not. They just use whatever the fuck they say.
It's just on the map. Nobody owns the Gulf of America.
Nobody owns water. You own 10 miles out from your shore.
Yeah, but it's so Trump because it's just a flex that he doesn't even need to do. He's doing it just to fuck with people.
Yeah, it's great. So a black friend came in today.
Okay.
And he came up to me. He's like, how you doing? I was like, good. I put my hand on his shoulder. I was like, are you feeling safe? And he laughed and he's like, you mean in this Nazi regime we're in? I was like, yeah. And he's like, dude, I'm good. It was just timing.
I honestly, so I like this speech. I liked, those things are so stuffy and boring, but Carrie Underwood went up there to sing like God, I think it was God Bless America or something like that. And the audio went haywire. She had no audio. So she's like, well, how about you guys help me out? And she just sang it a cappella perfectly, of course.
Naturally.
So that was kind of a cool moment. But yeah, the looks from the people on the other side. First of all, none of them like Kamala. And that is very evident whenever you watch these people.
So Katie was telling me that Harris wouldn't let Vance do a walkthrough.
Yeah, she wouldn't give him a tour of the Naval Observatory.
That's insane.
I know.
Like, why? Just to be a bitch?
Well, yeah, that's kind of what she is.
Right. But you know you're going to be gone in like 3 days, right? This was 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Just a waste of time.
They're
And
just miserable.
It's stupid.
So, but it happened. We got a new president. You know, there's always promises. We'll see what he delivers on.
So you would text me. This is not a subject, but one of my subjects. You would text me, what do you think is going to happen with the J6ers?
Right.
And I go, I don't know. And he asked me because I used to employ a J6er.
You sure did.
And I'm not going to say his name. It doesn't fucking matter. He was in the news. There's a lot of photos of him there, none of which are violent, none of which are destructive. He was there, and he walked in after all the gates were gone. He just walked in, took some selfies, and left. And the conversations I had with him after the fact were more or less like, I was just making sure that all of my guys were not being destructive, and right. It was just a stance on America, on their beliefs of America, and making sure they weren't fucking shit up.
And he didn't break in. Like, it was open and welcoming when he went in, right?
Correct. There were, like I just said, there was no gates. They showed up, all the gates were gone. They just walked in, and he's pretty high up in his organization.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just all them making sure that all the other people weren't up. So he got sentenced.
Good thing.
And again, I don't know the exact numbers. I think he got sentenced to 8 years. I'm pretty sure. He's been in for 3 years now. Last year, they reduced his sentence to 5 years. And after you asked me that question, I was like, I don't know. And then, ironically, another friend had just texted me the same question. And then 5 minutes later, we got a text from another mutual friend, and he's been released.
Oh, really? Today?
Yeah. So
they're probably releasing most, if not all of them.
Yeah. So I heard 1,500 people, and the warden just kind of walked in and just let them all go.
That is, if that is not an indictment on how criminal all of that was.
Right.
And here's a really disturbing thing. We're never going to know, because Biden, on his way out, gave preemptive pardonings to Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney, and all the people on the J6 committee, the ones that destroyed all of that video evidence.
Right.
Yeah, they can't be prosecuted. They're completely immune.
Well, I would hope most people, and I would say that, but most people won't watch any of that video. But the video on the J6 thing that is time-stamped every fucking second through.
Uh-huh.
You're just like, no, it's kind of bullshit. Like, the first people were a little rowdy.
Yeah, and how many of them were FBI agents?
Right. And the other dude that was former.
We'll never know.
Right. But most of the people showed up after all the gates were removed, and they just kind of like walked in. There was no security.
Yeah, they didn't know they weren't allowed to.
Right.
They're like, there's no barriers here. There's no police saying no. There's a police waving people in.
Right.
Like,
and again, there's multiple entries, and multiple entries had different stories. But
right.
For the most part, there was no barriers, and people were just like, hey, come on in. And for the most part, I'm going to say 95% of the people just walked in and didn't do shit. There's a select few that did fuck up shit. And then obviously that poor woman got shot in the face, which had nothing. That was unfortunate and sad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't people that were breaking in that shot her.
Yeah, it was a Capitol Police officer.
Right.
I'm really mixed on the Ashley Babbitt thing, just because she's a female. She was unarmed. She really posed no threat.
Right.
But she was breaking through a window on a door where there was a cop on the other side pointing a weapon and saying, don't come through. So it's like, I think it sucks that she died, but come on, dude. That was
Yeah,
really stupid.
that one's, well, you're right.
Yeah.
That was the one like, here's a barrier. You're breaking the barrier.
And that's why it's important to see both sides of every argument. Like, you don't have to be all on one side or the other. In fact, if you can't call out when your team is taking something a little too far, you're no better.
Right.
So, yeah. So he also gave the full pardon to Fauci. So we'll never find out anything about all the bullshit that he did.
It's just the fact that he did that is criminal.
He gave a blanket pardon to all of his immediate family members. So, like his brother that he had a bunch of dealings with, gave pardons to all of them. Like, it's so blatant how criminal he was, and nobody's gonna care. They're just gonna look right past it.
Hopefully, there's big changes coming up. That's
Trump
all I
bad.
Trump, Orange Man bad.
Orange Man bad. Yeah, it's a bummer. So yeah, he pardoned a bunch of people, and there's another point I really wanted to bring up, and I forgot.
Fauci, dude, that baffles me. Like you.
Oh, he's terrible. He's the one. He screwed up the AIDS response. There's a ton. That whole movie, Dallas Buyers Club, is basically an indictment on Fauci because he was forcing him to take certain drugs that were killing them.
Right.
Yeah.
And the movie's point was all they really needed was vitamins.
Yeah. And everything we just said, we would have gotten shadow banned, which would be really difficult for us because we've got like 29 listeners now.
We're huge.
We're huge. Exactly. So, that was another one of the executive orders today that the government is no longer allowed to interfere in any media to push any propaganda, which should be fucking obvious. Yeah. Now, these are private companies. They can still shadow ban if they want to, but people are coming around. Like, I don't know.
Well, the Rogan Zuckerberg thing was pretty fucking huge.
It was. And I don't know that Zuckerberg would have made the stance that he did had Kamala won. Like, he's a bit of a grifter, right? Like, he runs a business.
Right.
But I will say, since he started doing jujitsu, his skin is darker. He's more tan. He's obviously way stronger. And he obviously has testosterone in his system now, which naturally is making him lean more conservative than he used to, which is hilarious.
It's a funny dot connection there, but did I send you the video of the dude like losing his mind on some reporter that tofu doesn't lower your testosterone levels?
No.
All right. There's two stories here. One, Tom Segura and his wife's podcast is fucking hilarious. You need to watch it.
I've been listening. Okay.
Yeah. They show clips at the beginning of their episode and just kind of make fun of them, which is a fun thing to do. So this clip would be perfect. So this dude is sitting there and he's like, "Where's the evidence, Paul?" And he's like screaming in a very feminine voice. He's like, "I eat a pound of tofu a week." And just going off on where's the evidence, but like he is the evidence. Like, it is so perfect.
Actually, you did send me that. It's just, I don't know. I probably send you a good 20 pictures or memes a day on Instagram.
You're not as bad as Rudy.
And you probably send me an equal amount. Oh, does he send even more?
Dude, I love Rudy with all of my heart. And I gave him shit. I'm like, just open your own page. Just open your own page, call it whatever you want, and I'll follow you. And we'll just let it be. But he has a good contract at work where he literally does nothing all day. And so I'm going to find his story to me. What is it? He probably sends me 20 to 40 a day. And I respond to like one.
See, I try to be pretty selective in what I send. I want to,
so
curate a good collection.
Funny, I'll send it to people that I think they'll think it's funny. I don't send you a lot of shit because I don't think you would think it was funny.
I only send you hot chicks. Sometimes I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say it. Why is it you watch one breastfeeding video and your entire algorithm is flooded with breastfeeding videos?
And you didn't even pick the video. It just showed up like a titty on your screen. You're like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she's breastfeeding. You're like, oh. And then all of a sudden it's just breastfeeding. You're like, I'm not a pervert. I just thought a titty.
No. Here's why you're not a pervert. Because it's never a real baby. They're fake babies. They're doing it just to show their tits. And you know what? Let's give a round of applause for that. Thank you.
It's a good
I appreciate it.
But,
you're finding ways to leverage the law so that you can show off your boobs. And I appreciate that.
I can't find the meme. I didn't send it to you. I sent it to my buddy James because he would find it was funny. So it's 4 pictures and it's a cartoon and it's a duck and the duck's like, I wish I had some bread. And then all of a sudden somebody throws them a bunch of bread crumbs. It's actually only 3 pictures. And the third picture is like, I wish I had some sweet duck pussy.
That's awesome. That's like that scene in a fucking great movie, by the way, Dogma.
Yeah.
Where Chris Rock falls from heaven onto earth and Jason Mewes is like, it's not like prophets just be falling out of the sky. There's Chris Rock, flops on the ground. He immediately looks in the sky and says, it's not like there's big titty bitches just falling out of the sky.
That's such a fucking great movie.
They hit on everything. And the message in the end is really good.
It's solid.
First of all, Alanis Morissette as God.
Yeah.
I buy it. I totally buy it. Yeah. But yeah, so in the end, they're like, it doesn't really matter what religion you are. It's just that you believe and you hope and you acknowledge.
It's actually hope. It's not belief. The whole message is like beliefs get people killed.
Yeah. And man, good actors in that one. Selma Hayek. Oh,
God, we tried to watch Chasing Amy the other night.
Oh, that movie's fucking terrible.
Yeah, Katie's like, I can't watch this. It is pretty bad. It's so slow.
So,
but Kevin Smith is a fucking genius.
Yeah, we used to be big Jason Smith fans back in the day. Me, Josh Hawley, and Walrus. Kevin and Walrus.
Kevin Smith. His name's not Jason Smith.
I say Kevin Smith.
You said Jason. We'll move on.
Okay. All right. Where was I going with that? Yeah. So Walrus. Working in Hollywood now. He sent me a signed copy of Chasing Amy, and it's got Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes, Ben Affleck, that one chick that plays Amy, all of them.
Nice.
That's pretty
fucking
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
if you got banned from working with Kevin Smith later.
No, it was who's the actress singer?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. He got kicked off her set.
Oh boy.
For a little bit of stalking.
I could see that.
And I got this from a reliable source, i.e. his brother.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah. I think my ego's too big to ever work in Hollywood as anything other than an actor. Like, there's no way that I could be on a set and like be on tiptoes and treat these people like gods when
I would love the money,
theater.
But I don't think I could do any of that shit.
They're just theater dorks that got lucky. That's all it is.
There's that, but like, so like Russell Crowe.
Okay.
Like, you think he's a manly man, like
nope.
Just a badass, like who's the other one? Wolverine. Hugh Jackman. Kind of the same thing.
Totally not gay.
But
no,
like,
not at all.
When you watch them in an interview and they actually speak about acting, you're like, oh shit. Like, you're a giant nerd. Like,
yeah.
They talk about things that, like, again, I'm not an actor.
Right.
But I feel like I could do it. Like Mark Wahlberg, not an actor.
Don't look up.
But he could fucking kill it.
Like, we have no classical training, and we have one of the top podcasts for men 15 to 24.
I'm just like,
in Spokane.
What? And again, we're really.
Uh-oh, Joe's in trouble with his wife.
There's a door in the bedroom. Who's right here? Anyways, we're not theatrically trained, and obviously all of them are.
Yeah. Why?
It makes no sense.
Like, I understand if you're playing like a legit acting, crying, stuff like that. Like when McConaughey did Dallas Buyers Club, lost all that weight, did all that stuff for the role.
Right.
I'll give props where props are due, right? But like
Well,
Liam Neeson, he plays the same fucking thing every single movie.
The Rock.
But I'll find a way to get you. And he
The
is
Rock.
the
Same
biggest
character.
idiot on Twitter, Liam Neeson. All he does is rail on like how guns are bad, even though he uses them in every fucking movie. And he's got huge Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, same thing with Ron Swanson. That one broke my heart.
Oh man, that cringy ass song he did. I forget what it was based off of, but he did like a solo guitar song about like how awesome Joe Biden was.
That's terrible.
It really is. It's such a shame because if you were to want to be like any TV character, he's top 5 all day.
Yeah.
Ron
Well,
Swanson?
The big issue, and we're going back to Mark Wahlberg again, is none of these people remember what being a human is.
Yeah, very few of them.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good point because most of them are like theater nerds and then they go into arts and then they're just famous and they've never really lived in the real world, or if they have, it's been sparing.
And it's been a minute. So like I remember when I was like 18 to 30, my dad always got on my shit about having no money in the bank. And he would always just be like, Joe, you need to save your money. Save your money. And I'm like, what fucking money?
I don't need money. I need 20s.
Like, dude, I have no money to save. He's like, just even if it's $100 a paycheck, just put it in your savings account. I'm like,
you didn't get a fucking $100.
Right. I'm like, what are you talking about? Now I get older and I employ people and they're broke.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have this conversation with them, but I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm 40.
Right.
Like, you have to get there in your life. So like you do lose that and the grasp of reality of what it's like to be struggling and poor. With that said, Hollywood actors have no place speaking on what America needs because they have no fucking idea. That's when they all vote for saving the fish to help water in California.
Yep. Well, and a lot of times it's rules for thee, but not for me. You know what I mean? So like they'll vote. Well, they'll vote, for water things to save the fish, but they live in a rich neighborhood and they don't have the same water restrictions to water their lawn as normal people.
Right.
So of course they're going to vote to conserve water because it doesn't affect them.
Right. And their lawns are gorgeous.
Yeah. It'll be interesting in this rebuilding effort to see if they find a way to cut the red tape, because if any of them goes and tries to rebuild the permit, Bill Maher, it took him 3 years to get a permit to put solar panels on top of his shed.
Right.
The amount of environmental impact surveys, having to have this much green material and all of that stuff to build in California, they are in for a very rude awakening at how dominant the government is there.
Yeah, and they're all going to move to Austin.
Yeah, and ruin Austin.
They just destroy Texas.
It's such a weird thing because I always say that like the really, really good, because and we on the Real for Life podcast strongly endorse separating the art from the artist. You have to separate the art from the artist, right?
Except
Like-
for Little Wayne.
I mean, well, yeah, but
If you stomp on a flag,
oh yeah, you're done. You're done
You're
for
done.
me if you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like
don't
Robert De Niro's got serious Trump derangement syndrome,
yeah,
but the dude was in Casino.
Yeah.
He was in Analyze This, one of our favorite movies.
yeah, and I appreciate his movies. And we've touched base on Will Smith, and I don't know his political views, but after all that Jada Pinkett Smith shit came out, I'm like, I can't watch you as a badass anymore because you're a simp.
No, you're a cuck. Can't do
Yeah.
it. But where I was going with that is I think all the really good artists, of course they're going to lean left. That's what makes them great artists. Are you connecting the dots there?
Yeah.
They're all about the touchy-feely emotional stuff. Conservatives vote with their brain, liberals vote with their heart. And really, really good artists are very EQ dominant, not IQ dominant. So they're going to be liberal. It is what it is.
I don't agree.
That's why we need liberals and conservatives.
Yeah,
We
that's
need a
why
balance.
Right. That's why, yeah, should be balanced.
Balance
you
is
should
good.
balance your decisions on those two reasons every time you vote.
Respect the balance.
Respect, ass.
Dude, I watched I got bored 2 days ago because every weekend's a 4-day weekend for me now.
Yeah, it sounds rough.
Well, obviously I built a freaking plank so that the cats could walk from the second floor to the entryway pedestal. I
Yeah,
created a cat village for them that only
do
they
it.
can get to via
You're
a
gonna
plank on the wall 15 feet in the air.
you're gonna have to watch that one day.
I'm just saying, like, these are the things you do now that every day is a 4-day weekend. Every weekend. It's pretty sweet.
You need to start building something productive.
But yeah, so I watched Mr. Deeds.
Oh, still great.
Oh, dude, totally holds up. And peak Winona Ryder.
Yeah,
Yeah, Pam Dawson. Oh yeah.
yeah. Dr. Pepper.
From West Chestertonville, Iowa. Oh, that's where we ran from. Boo Radley.
All right, let's hit notes.
All right. First of all, I want to acknowledge though that now that we have 29 listeners and it's getting it's getting thick real quick, right? Notice the security with the Real for Life podcast hat. Yeah. Got security. Shirtless, buff male security.
You done?
Yeah.
All right. I actually have notes this time that we're not going to touch on.
More than 2?
5.
Oh my, this really is a special day.
I know.
Let's hear what you got.
Butterscotch jelly beans.
Nice.
The movie Wicked.
Ooh.
My 2 kids in their vehicles.
Okay.
Ted Lasso.
Okay, that's 4.
And The Longshoreman.
These are much better than mine. Mine is hipster hesitancy. # one ring to rule them all.
That touches into The Longshoreman.
The movie TV game that I play with my wife. The catwalk, we already talked about that, so that one's out. People that don't drink. # ski day.
Yeah, that's strange.
And girls in car troubles.
Okay, I'll take girls with car troubles for $100.
All right. So this person hit my wife's car in the parking lot and left a note, and it dented in the rear fender. It's a plastic fucking bumper, right? So they in an awesome move, they left a note. They're like, "Hey, I hit your car. Here's my mom's number. please call her. Like, obviously, a teenage driver, right? So, anyway, so I go out there. I take the panel off the bottom. I push the bumper back out. It's fixed. She's like, well, it's making a weird noise. What noise is it making? It's going like, voo, voo, voo. I was like, is it the engine? Is it inside?
It's a Prius.
I know. But she's like, I don't know. It's just funny to me that girls have no, at least wives. I don't want to rip on girls every episode. It's happening a lot.
It's a segue to my.
But anyway, girls have no mechanical IQ whatsoever. Is it coming from the engine or inside the car? Well, I don't fucking know.
It's the lack of knowing. Okay. So Jalen and Carter, both. Carter just bought his first vehicle.
Well, Carter did?
He bought it himself. He
Really?
got tow signed and he purchased his own vehicle. This is coming from his mouth. 2018 Impreza.
Impressive.
So
Very practical too for Spokane.
Jalen, we buy him a truck.
Mhm.
He loves the truck.
But he didn't buy it.
Has no idea what's going on in it. Like,
Right.
if I ask him how to do anything on that truck, he's like, I don't know. I'm like, how do you set the radio? I don't know. Like,
That's
how do you
you do that before you even find out if it runs.
right?
That's all I care about.
And it's not just Jalen. It's like kids these days don't appreciate what they have. When we were kids and we got something, you would dissect it and you'd figure out how everything worked on it, and you'd probably half the time, but you were just how to work on it and what's going on with that item.
Yeah, it's I think part of it is because we have cell phones and everything now. Like, they don't need their car to go see their friend. They can just FaceTime. They don't need their car to fucking go to get something to eat. They can Uber Eats.
Right.
So it's the car doesn't symbolize freedom the way that it used to.
That's true.
Yeah.
Carter
They're just
got
terrible people.
Carter got his car 3 days ago. What is today? Monday. He got it Wednesday.
Okay.
He came over Saturday. So 3 days after he got his car. And he's like, yeah, like, so I washed it and then I debadged the whole thing because that's just looks silly. And like, I would really want to get smoked headlights. And I'm like, oh,
I am so proud of you right now. I've never been more proud of you than in this moment right now. Look at Carter.
Just blown away. And
What
Katie,
a guy.
what's the badge? I'm like, the logos. He took off all the logos. It's the same thing I did with the first 8 cars I ever owned. And
Clean.
dude,
Makes him clean.
just makes it clean. And I was just blown away that genetics went that far.
Yeah. Well, not all the genetics. I mean, he finished the project, so.
Oh, that's true. And he's 6 foot. Prick.
Joe is the king of starting projects and getting about 80% done and then just saying, fuck it, good enough.
Are you?
We're both there. This is why the show Beers and Gears, if I ever win the lottery, we're doing Beers and Gears, because especially if we can get Chris involved, Sprinter Chris, because you have who's I've never ever seen you wait for spray paint to dry, and everything you've spray painted has fingerprints on it because you're not waiting.
No.
Yeah. Then you got Chris, who he'll delay a build for 3 weeks just to get a particular bolt that he likes. Like, it has to be perfect.
If he was on the show, he would lose his mind on us.
He'd never finish a project.
No, because we could finish it in 3 weeks. It would take him 4 years.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
his would be a lot better.
I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, I think. But probably closer to year end. Like, I don't like my Jeep. The paint job on my Jeep looks fucking amazing. And Chris gives me shit because I used a Wagner power painter from Lowe's and exterior house paint.
It's an off-road vehicle.
It's a fucking Jeep. And it's like this sick ass mustard yellow, but because it's a satin finish and I use that Wagner power painter, it just looks like a really good matte paint job.
Done and done.
Plus, I've rubbed it on a tree a couple times. I've got 3/4 of a gallon of that paint left.
Just
Just take a little, just give it a little touch up there. Good to go.
I will reflect back on my kids. Jalen just got his first job today.
No shit. Good for him.
Yeah, super proud.
I'm
Yes,
happy
it's-
that he got a job not at your place.
That's was the thing. I'm like, you have to
Yeah.
work somewhere else before you work for me. Yeah, he starts next week, so pretty fucking awesome.
That's really cool. Congrats.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see this transition of what he thinks is tired now versus going to school and working tired.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to jump into one of mine because you're talking too much for my
Jesus
comfort.
Christ.
So, hipster hesitancy, hashtag one ring to rule them all. One thing I've always been really jealous of you for, you're a jewelry guy. Like, yeah, you always have a nice watch. You have like an actual ring for a wedding ring. Like I use one of the rubber ones.
I used to.
And you just like, you all like, you're comfortable with, you used to work at the Silver Safari.
Right. I think that's where it started.
Yeah. Yeah. Big chains. Oh yeah. But I've never had that, right? So like I thought of you the other day. We went to get Parker a haircut. His other dad comes in, and at first I totally judge him because I'm an asshole. It's like he's got everything on that's like kind of cool, hipster, outdoorsy. Like he's got oh fuck, what are those really expensive boots that K-Mac used to work at her Danner?
Danners.
Yeah, so I've got a couple pair of Danners, but I use them. This guy, these are brand new Danners. He's got the jeans like rolled up a little bit to see the boot more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like hipstered out. But then he's got like this and this guy's our age. Like you're a little too old to still be doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's got this big, huge ring, and it's got the turquoise in it, and it's just super rock and roll, right? Like it
Yeah,
doesn't.
I always wanted to go down the road of turquoise.
Yeah,
I could never pull it off.
yeah. So
A, I'm not Native American.
Eh.
And B, I don't smoke weed. So I can't wear turquoise.
well,
And
this
also, I don't
guy-
live in New Mexico.
So this guy, once again, this ring was kind of out of place, but it was super rock and roll. And it reminded me and Tana went to Vegas years and years and years ago. And we went by this store that was basically like a Motley Crue jewelry store,
Okay.
big rings, skulls, and all that stuff. And there was this ring there that I wanted so bad. And it was $800. And Tana's like, just get it. And I was like, I will never wear this. I can't pull it off. Right. So anyway, this dude is wearing this big ring. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be an asshole today. I'm going to chat this dude up, as I always do. I always hit on dudes. So I start chatting with him. Super cool dude. I tell him about the ring that I used to get, and he's like, oh man, you should have got it. That was pretty much how I got this ring. And it's gaudy as hell, but like I wear it.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, a dude that normally I would just kind of judge and go on about my day, I was like, no, I'm going to talk to this dude. So I used the ring as an excuse, and totally cool dude. Like I need to start doing that more instead of just
Judging everybody.
judging everybody. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to judge, speaking of hipsters. So the store I go to almost every day, there's the longshoreman hipster.
The guy
he's-
that wears the boots, he rolls the cuffs up. He wears the beanie that doesn't cover the fucking ears. I fucking
Correct.
hate that guy.
Mustache,
Yep.
curly hair, mullet, beanie above the ears,
Yep.
even
Suspenders?
in the summer. No suspenders.
Oh, what a disappointment.
Shirt tucked in, skinny jeans, belt. Doc Martens rolled up.
Yep.
It's like that. It's so much effort.
How's the crab fishing today, sir?
I'm just like, and is that cultural appropriation? Because
It is a fucking look, man. It is a look. The crab fisherman fucks. It's a look that they do. Usually, the only thing I like about it is you get to incorporate suspenders. I think suspenders are cool.
Okay, so I wore suspenders like 3 years ago for St. Patrick's Day.
Suspenders in a hard part?
Because oh my god, I miss my hard part so much. But I wore suspenders because it was part of the outfit I was wearing for St. Patty's. They're amazing.
Oh, they're the best.
Dude, yeah. I can't wait until I'm 90 so I can just wear them on the regular. Like, fuck a belt. Like, your pants just stay there all day.
Well, what I'd love to pull off is the look with like jeans and like the tucked in t-shirt with the suspenders, but like you're ripped because you work out.
Yeah, we're never gonna
I
get there.
can't do that because I'm not ripped. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Dude, I look so jacked today at the gym.
Maybe get one of those chains that connects my wallet to my front pocket. That's a look.
Yeah, it's very white supremacist at that point.
I mean, no, where do you get white supremacist out of that?
Are the suspenders red?
No, they're lumberjack style. Shit, that's red.
You just
No.
Hipster.
I'll wear any.
White supremacist. It's a very slippery slope.
No, the suspenders are black or black and white checkered because you're wearing a white pocket t-shirt. Or brown or a black. It doesn't matter what color it is, Joe. Don't try to paint me in that corner.
Oh God. I just wish I had the quote from American History X when they're gonna break into that convenience store.
Oh geez. So when you when we were talking earlier about what we send each other on Instagram, so you have different things for different people. Like there's the really, really messed up memes where like, or clips where like people die or severely injure themselves. That's all me and Sprinter Chris send each other.
That's Tom sends me. And it's like, dude, I don't want to see this.
Yeah, and that's why I don't send it to you.
I go, I don't want to see this. He's like, that's all that's into my feed. I was like, so I just send him tits all the time. I'm like, you need to change your feed. Like, your feed is messed up.
Yeah, where if I sent something like that to Sprinter Chris, there's no interest there for that.
My feed's kind of messed up right now. We're gonna do your when you hit the search
movie TV game night with the wife.
Ooh, that's a weird lineup right there.
Is that what pops up when you press search?
Yeah,
because that's how you really know somebody.
Yeah,
you get on their Instagram. You look at nothing. You open their Instagram and you just press the magnifying glass.
Yeah, I got.
My feed is almost the same as yours. This is terrible. We shouldn't be sharing this, Joe.
No, this is.
But that's mine. So it's all pretty much the same stuff there. Oh, we shouldn't have shown that.
Are you looking up? This is great. Look up. Look up.
That's awesome. Mine have a lot of gym fails and stuff too. That was not a good representation of my search, but
I'm going to watch the movie Wicked.
I have not watched the movie Wicked.
I refuse to watch it.
I saw it as a play. So they came through Portland when it was just a musical.
Okay.
Not something I would normally go to. And it fucking blew me away. First of all, I took my mom, which me and my mom don't do a lot of things together.
That's a weird thing to take your mom to.
No, it's not. My mom, huge Wizard of Oz fan.
Really?
Oh, huge Wizard of Oz fan. It's insane. So back in the day, they were coming to the Arlene Schnitzer or the Keller. I can't remember which one. Here in Portland, of course. And so I invited my mom and got her tickets. And it was awesome. Blew me away. Uh-oh.
My
It might have
point
been
was,
it might have been my aunt.
it was probably Robin.
I can't remember now.
That makes more sense.
But I know my mom saw it and it was super amazing. I don't want to watch the movie because I've seen the interviews of the actresses afterwards and it completely ruined it for me.
Right. And they get so much publicity off of that. And obviously they did a lot of meth or whatever they did on the movie. And I'm just like, and I'm sick of seeing her fingernails and the whole thing.
Terrible. She's got like 10 piercings each ear, and then her fingernails are like 3 inches long.
Yeah, I just like, I don't want to see this because you disgust me.
She looks like that dude in the movie 300, the Unites, the god.
You must kneel.
Real before you are.
Yeah, I just because of the interviews, I'm like, I will never watch this movie.
Yeah, once again, you're ruining the movies. They need to quit interviewing a lot of these actors, especially when they turn it into like an empowerment thing. Like, no, you got paid to be on a movie. Like, you didn't do anything brave here.
No, you were acting.
Yeah.
On another subject that's not even written down, I saw this fucking clip the other day that it was the actors that were in The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And I didn't know they did this, but there are human actors that act out the entire movie while the artists draw it.
Really?
And I'm like, well, that's just fucking stupid.
Well, Little Mermaid cinematically was excellent. And it was I think it was one of the last movies, animated movies, before they moved to like mostly computers doing it.
Probably. But
so
like,
they had to draw that frame for frame, which is just
they had actors doing every scene.
That's pretty crazy. For timing?
For timing, facial expressions, everything. So they're doing basically they're filming it twice.
That's crazy.
Right. And the same chick, this is the point of that. The chick that played Ariel, to remember, also played the chick Beauty and the Beast. What's her name? Belle. So like, and you think about it, they have the same facial characteristics. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. But to me, it blew me. The point of the video was that. But to me,
I think the point of the movie is Belle fell in love with Beast and was fully prepared to have a romantic relationship with him before she knew he was human.
Well, obviously his squat was like 500 pounds.
Yeah, but she didn't know he was human, and she was fully prepared to have a romantic relationship. Pretty messed up, Joe. Also, The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid. Okay, she lost her voice. She can't draw a picture of a mermaid and just be like, that's me. Like, a huge hole in the plot of that movie. I mean, I understand she probably can't like write in English, but she can't draw a picture and just point at herself.
Yeah. It's kind of a movie. I mean, it's Disney.
So one of my subjects is the TV and movie game that I play with my wife. And this has become like my favorite part of our relationship is we play this stupid game where if we're watching a TV show and we see an actor, it's like a race to see who can connect that actor to another thing.
Well, obviously,
like, that chick played Kimmy Schmidt in, whatever. So it's like always a race when we see somebody we recognize to like identify where we saw them in another show.
That's just how I live my life.
Well, yeah, me and you do exactly the same thing. Like the other day when I texted you, it was like, did you know the boy in Boy Meets World was Fred Savage's brother?
Right.
And of course, neither of us knew that. And now it's like, they look exactly the same. One of them has to be much older than the other, though, right?
Yeah, Fred Savage has to have like 15 years on him because he was.
Yeah.
Let's look it up. We don't
Pull it
have
up.
producers to like look up our shit, so we physically have to do it ourselves.
Yeah, we really need a few more listeners. You know, it brings up a good question for the listeners out there. If you've got ideas on how we could better spread this show, well, obviously it would be for you to share it. But if you got ideas, send them in to realforlifepodcast@gmail.com. That's real, the number 4, life, podcast@gmail.com.
Shit, we're just old. So it's
You find it?
Fred Savage. Savage
Okay.
is 48.
Okay.
His brother, Ben, from Boy Meets World, is 44.
You're shitting me.
Nope, 4 years apart.
Oh, that makes me feel terrible. I never watched Boy Meets World. I was a big fan of Topanga.
I never had a thing for Topanga. She's just your typical
Really?
early developed girl that you would have a crush on in middle school.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty accurate. Nothing super special there.
No, she just had huge
Dude.
shit.
You know who's gotten really hot and I really respect? Hillary Duff.
Oh, God, ridiculous.
She was a normal little teen pop star, and then she had 4 kids. 4 kids, Joe. She got a little thick and
And can squat.
looked amazing, and then just hit the gym and like, yeah, she's like a total muscle mommy now.
Yeah.
Hill Duff, perfect teeth, high ponytail. Take notes, ladies. How you do it?
Good. Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah,
My wife
Hill
has been
Hill
killing
Duff's crushing
him.
it. Has she?
Yeah. Super proud. Like, she's been
Nice.
killing. I kind of
She-
fucked her up because she did dry January, and I'm a pusher.
Didn't
So
she do
she's-
Sober October too?
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, we're going to Mexico, so she's trying to get all fit and shit. Like, it's about balance. So she's cheated twice in January, which is
On you? Boom! Ha-ha!
no, she's doing really good.
That's a good joke.
It was.
Good job, Katie. I did comment. She had a post for the restaurant the other day. Solid hair day she had.
Yeah. Hair looks good.
Yeah. When she puts in some effort there, I think respect, Joe. Respect.
She's pretty hot.
What? Where'd the notes go? The catwalk. Yeah. So drinking. People that don't drink. So me and you do our once a year ski trip, and I tell this story all the time because I love that we still hold the tradition of going once a year skiing with each other.
We should bump it up to twice, but okay.
We should. But, you know, when we first started doing this like 10 years ago, it'd be like 5 runs, beer in the lodge, 5 runs, beer in the lodge. Then it went down to 4. 2 years ago when we went, I think we only had 2 runs.
Yeah.
And this time, I think we did 5. We did pretty good.
I would call it 6 because we did the backside and then came back up and back down. I'm going to say
Mhm.
6.
But so we went inner tubing last night up at Ski Bowl. It's like this cosmic inner tubing thing. They sold way too many tickets. So it's super crowded. You're standing in line forever. And you're only there for 2 hours. So we took 2 runs and I was like, hey, honey, do you want to go get a beer in the lodge? And because standing in line sucks.
Right.
And of course she did. And the other couple we were with was like, we're going to
Have
keep
beer
sweating.
in the line?
What's that?
You can have a beer in line?
No, you had to go like in the lodge. It's like a family thing. So
Okay.
we go in, we have a drink, and we're like, well, we'll just take one more run on our way down to get to the car. And it just weirded me out that there's a lot of couples and a lot of people that wouldn't do that. Which doesn't make me sound good because Katie did Sober October and Dry January. But what I'm saying is there's certain places where a beer just slaps different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the mountain for sure.
The Ski Lodge beer is a different beer. It is better. It is far superior.
I would say
beer.
I would say anything with fear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But there's other things too. Right after you mow the lawn, Coors Light.
Yeah, like the summer day Coors Light.
Good beer.
Working in the yard, you're sweating your ass off. Coors Light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nice.
Post mountain bike run.
Never done it.
Once again, something physical, like anything physical. The after physical beer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The I'm depressed beer because nobody likes me, and my wife hasn't.
The shower beer.
Oh, the shower beer. The shower beer is a great beer. One of the best. So I probably should have made this a subject for the next episode, but bucket list beers. So for me, a bucket list beer is the beer in my cup holder on my riding lawnmower while I'm mowing the lawn. Now, I don't have a lawn or a lawnmower, let alone many that would necessitate an entire rack. Okay? But the riding lawnmower beer, Forrest Gump style, I want that beer.
I have that. The unfortunate part is my lawn, I live on a hill, so it's sketch and I can't just cruise and have a beer. It's like almost you're gonna die mowing my lawn. So
yeah,
pleasure.
You need a nice level open field for that kind of action.
Right.
But like a hot day riding lawnmower beer, that sounds amazing. Ooh, the hot tub beer.
Hot tub beer is awesome.
Especially when it's snowing. That's
a
good beer.
I don't think it's gonna snow this year.
That's wild.
Yeah, like we got a little bit of snow, but it's gone. And
the mountain was great.
Yeah, the mountain's getting dumped on, but down here I don't think it's gonna snow. It's terrible.
The podcast beer.
The podcast beer.
Yeah, but suffice it to say, there's a couple beers that they're good beers. They hit a little different. That was my subject. Girls That Don't Drink, Car Troubles movie. That's all of my items. I can't believe it. I know you got one or two more.
If you don't drink or swear, I don't really trust you.
Yeah, and I don't want to hang out with you. So, like, I'm religious now, right? Like, we go to church once in a while. We're not great, but we're trying to do it. And when I first started working in Portland, I worked at this hospital, and I worked with a gal named Dawn. And super religious. I was right in the beginning of I'm going to get a full sleeve of tattoos thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she did not like me because I was like young Portland bro.
Hipster.
Maybe a little bit.
You went very hipster really quick.
This was pre-hipster.
We're going to talk 20 years ago hipster. So you're just talking skinny jeans and that's about it.
At this point, I'm in my faux hawk and diesel jeans phase.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and there were patients that she wouldn't even work with because they were like too satanic or whatever. Where was I going with this story? Why did we bring this up?
Hipsters, skiing.
Well, I think the end of the story is that the point is that like, no,
gone.
I'm going to listen back on this episode and I'm going to be like, where the fuck was I going with that? I had a really solid point to make there. Damn it. What were we talking about? Hipster hypocrisy. You said something about, what were we talking about?
It's gone.
Oh God, I'm gonna lose a lot of audience with that. I apologize to everybody. You know what? I'm gonna listen back, and we will address it on the next episode because I'm not letting this go. It's a really good story. That Dawn chick I worked with was awesome, and she was super religious. Oh, here's what it was about.
Swearing and drink.
Yeah, swear. You don't trust people that don't swear and don't drink. So one day she's giving me shit because I got a new tattoo. And she's like, aren't you scared that you're going to go to hell? And I had this moment of clarity where I thought about heaven versus hell at the time. And I was like, almost everything I enjoy doing, drinking, smoke, whatever, blah, blah, skiing, driving cars way too fast, not being monogamous, whatever. All the things that sound awesome to me would put me in hell. And I wouldn't be able to do them in heaven. So which place would I rather be? Does that make sense, Joe? Or you're still PM?
Is that your topic right there?
We can all see you in the reflection, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the back of you, though. I guess that was my point, is that, like, you don't trust people that don't drink and swear. But that was kind of like that experience. Like, why would I want to go to heaven if everything I enjoy doing, I wouldn't be able to do there?
Well, I just don't think it's honest. Like, again, like, people can drink excessively. They can swear excessively. Everything is in excess. In moderation is fine. Ironically, when I hear people swear excessively in public, I'm like, God damn, you swear a lot. But I do.
But that's why I don't like overly religious people too, because I wouldn't think that a lot of those things would make you not allowed to go to heaven. If heaven's supposed to be super awesome, wouldn't you be able to do pretty much whatever you wanted?
Well, now we're getting into that, but technically you could do anything you want in life and rape and pillage and murder, and as long as you are sorry right before you die, you go to heaven.
So I don't know that I'm a fan of that either.
Right. Right.
Like, I get accepting Jesus Christ. That's probably a good thing. And that's right. Once again, you need liberals, you need conservatives. That's why it's interesting when you have a bunch of different religions, because like the Catholics, you're Catholic, you guys have purgatory. So if you're like that, where, you made a couple bonehead moves, but overall you were a good dude, you can go to purgatory.
No, purgatory is a segue before they decide. It's not like a land in the middle. Purgatory is like,
I thought purgatory, you like worked off your terrible moral debt from your mistakes in life, and then you go to heaven. Is that not what it is?
Kinda. It's more like we're gonna figure it out from here.
Well, at least it's a chance. You get your day in court. I mean, it's not like, you drank a caffeinated drink, you're going to hell. Like the Mormons, they're pretty strict, which is weird because I love Mormons. They're the best.
Dude, they gotta figure it out. I mean,
so when you talk about not liking people that don't drink and don't cuss, I agree with you.
I didn't say like them. I don't trust them. There's a difference.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just saying, I've always had a good time with Mormons.
Every Mormon I've ever met had a good time with them.
Yep. The soaking thing's a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, every religion has their weird thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Should we cut it there? It's about an hour.
Plus, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for me not having a very good memory tonight. I'll get better.
Butterscotch jelly beans left, but that could wait.
Ooh, no, I kind of want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's a 20-minute conversation.
All right, so next episode, we start with butterscotch jelly beans. And if you don't know what that is, your life sucks.
It's delicious.
Till then, if you got a subject you would like us to discuss, let us know at real4lifepodcast@gmail.com. Till then, this is Jesse and Joe with the Real for Life podcast signing. We don't really sign off.
Yeah, we don't have a thing.
This is Jesse and Joe with the Real for Life podcast.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Real for life.